present over here, and here it is the urinary bladder. The two ureters enters into urinary bladder, and the urethra starting from the urinary bladder ends at the tip of the penis. The total diagram comprises of the two testes found in the scrotum fixed with the help of gubernaculum and spermatic cord. This spermatic cord and the cord is arises here is called vas deferens, are going through this canal-like structure which is continuous with the abdominal cavity or the pelvic region of the human reproductive system or human body. The canal-like structure which is continuous from the lower part of the abdomen up to the scrotal sac is called inguinal canal. Through this canal, the spermatic cord and the sperm duct, this vas deferens which is arises from the testis enters into the male reproductive system is called vas deferens, or otherwise it is called sperm duct. It is about 40 centimeter length. A long tube arises from the testis, carry the sperm through this way up to the urethra. So here in this total diagram of the male reproductive system, the sperm duct has a particular region over here that is called ampulla. After that, the particular gland is found over here that is called seminal vesicle. Lower to the seminal vesicle, a duct which is found that is called ejaculatory duct. This ejaculatory duct get connected with the urethra which is continuous with the length of the penis. Here another gland is found at the anterior part of the urethra and the posterior part of the urinary bladder. That gland is called prostate gland. It secretes, this prostate gland secrete its release into the urethra. And at both the end of the seminal vesicle, two ejaculatory duct enters into the urethra, and this urethra having another paired structure or another pair gland that is called Cowper's gland, or otherwise it is called bulbourethral gland. Now, when we are talking about the proper pathway of the sperm sperms get released out from the seminiferous tubule of the testis. They are entered into the retitestis, then they transported through the vasa efferentia into the epididymis, and from the epididymis these coil-like structures are called epididymis. And from the epididymis, the particular long slender tube is found, is called sperm duct, which carry the sperms from the testes and transported them into the urethra. Through the urethra, the sperms are get released out to the exterior by the copulatory organ called penis. So here in the total male reproductive system, in the total diagram of the male reproductive system, here it is the urinary bladder which stores the urine for the release of the urine by the conduction of the two ureters from the kidney. Then through the help of the urethra, urine is released through the outside. Here in case of male reproductive system, the urethra is also called urinogenital tract because it is the common pathway or the common passage both for the sperm and for the urine. Through this common passage, urine also released, as well as during the reproductive system or the sexual reproduction, the semen are also released through this pathway with the help of this muscular structure called penis. And this urethra have three different structures. At the anterior part of the urethra, here the prostate gland is found. So this part of the urethra is called prostatic urethra. At the middle part of the urethra is called membranous urethra. And at the lower, up to the tip of the penis, that is called penile urethra. So, here three different parts of the urethra: prostatic urethra due to the presence of the prostate gland at the anterior part of the urinary duct, and at the middle part that is called membranous urethra, and at the lower part which is ready to release the urine to the outside, that is called penile urethra due to the presence of the penile meatus is there. So here it is the copulatory organ, muscular structure which is used to help during copulation. With the help of this copulatory organ, the semen is released into the female genital tract. So here it is the total diagram of the male reproductive system. If we are talking about the different types of ducts, in case of male reproductive system, the ducts are epididymis, vas efferentia, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, that is urethra, all this. So, starting from the testis, when the seminiferous tubules releases the sperms into the retitestis and retitestis releases this total collection of the seminiferous tubules into the vas efferentia, the sperms get collected by the epididymis, and epididymis is particular structure which have a very essential function, that is, it is able to help or to prepare the physiological maturation of the sperm. The epididymis is that part which able to store the sperm and provide the nourishment for the further development. So, here the coiled structure of the epididymis providing the physiological maturation to the sperm. This epididymis is further divided into three parts. The anterior part of the epididymis is called caput epididymis, middle corpus epididymis, and the lower cauda epididymis. These three parts of epididymis is found inside in the total coiled structure. Then from this cauda epididymis, the vas deferens or the sperm ducts arises over here. The sperm ducts arises from the cauda epididymis, which carry the sperm from the testis to the further or the later stage of the transportation. From the cauda epididymis, sperms are carried out through the sperm duct by the vas deferens up to the portion of the ampulla. Then the seminal vesicle over here produce the seminal fluid. Through the ejaculatory duct, sperms are enter into the urethra of the male reproductive system. And here the prostate gland also produce particular type of fluid which also helps in the reproduction of the male reproductive system, and they releases its fluid to the urethra, and in between the pathway of the sperm, the another paired structure which also releases their fluid into the membranous urethra to the semen, that is called Cowper's gland. They also release their fluid. With all these three different glands, the fluid comprises of the seminal fluid. With the help of this penile urethra, it releases out to the exterior. That means sperms are gathered over here, enters through the sperm duct, then they are reached to the urethra or the urinogenital tract. With the help of three glands, seminal vesicle, prostate gland and Cowper's gland, the total fluid structure released out by this process is called semen. It is a milky, white, sticky fluid, contains the secretion of all these three glands and the sperm. That means the semen is the fluid structure consisting of the secretion of three glands with the sperm. This is all about the total structure of human male reproductive system. Now come to if we are talking about the different glands, different ducts of the male reproductive system, the first is vasa efferentia. Number 2, epididymis. Number 3, vas deferens or the sperm duct. So, if we are talking about the vasa efferentia, in our previous diagram, I have drawn the total structure of, that is the LS of testis, which consisting of this vasa efferentia, from where the seminiferous tubules releases their secretion into a network-like structure, and that network-like structure is called rete testis. Rete testis, from this rete testis, the small fine ducts which are of about 10 to 15 in number arises from the rete testis are called vasa efferentia. That means these are the fine ducts which are releases out from the rete testis are called vasa efferentia. They communicate with that of the epididymis of the testis. That means all these fine ducts which are arises from the rete testis comes with a highly coiled structure of the testis, that is called epididymis. That means the epididymis is the structure which is found after the vasa efferentia. The release of the sperm when comes into the vasa efferentia, then they enter into the another coiled structure that is called epididymis. And this epididymis is a long coiled tube which is found at the hind part of the testis. It is found at the hind part of the testis or at the posterior part of the testis. It is highly coiled tube. It has three parts, that is the upper capute epididymis, middle corpus epididymis and lower cauda epididymis. So, all these three parts comprising of the epididymal structure. And as I have told you, that is the main function of the epididymis. It carries the sperm, stores the sperm inside it and provide them nourishment so that the sperm get physiological maturation over here. So, now come to the next duct, that is vas deferens or the sperm duct. Vas deferens is a long coiled tube which arises from the posterior part of the epididymis. It makes a loop around the urinary bladder in somewhere else, and this sperm duct now continues with the urethra of the male reproductive system. So, the male reproductive system having the longest tube, that is the vas deferens or the sperm duct. The sperm duct arises from the cauda epididymis and it continues to the urethra, making a loop around the urinary bladder. It is a long tube of about 40 centimeter in length. It is about 40 centimeter in length. It extends through the abdominal cavity. The sperm duct arises from the cauda epididymis, extends through the abdominal cavity and enters into the reproductive tract. It pushes over the urinary or it passes over the urinary bladder and finally it joins to the seminal duct or the ejaculatory duct. Here it joins with that of the ejaculatory duct. Now come to the next one. The fourth duct is ejaculatory duct. It is a fine duct which is going to arise from the seminal vesicle, and that particular narrow tube arises from the seminal vesicle is called ejaculatory duct, which carry the release or the secretion from the seminal vesicle or the seminal gland. This ejaculatory duct is attached with the vas deferens. Here the ejaculatory duct is attached with the vas deferens or the sperm duct. It carries the secretion from the seminal vesicle. It produces the seminal fluid into the semen. And I have already told about this urethra or the another duct, that is urethra. It is also a long slender tube, arises from the posterior part of the urinary bladder and at the anterior part of the prostate gland up to the tip of the penis. So, urethra is a thick muscular duct, starts from the urinary bladder. It arises from the urinary bladder and ends in the penile urethra. So, it continues through the penis and often through the urinogenital tract. It is differentiated into upper prostatic urethra. Here it is the urethra which is starting from this region is called prostatic urethra. This part is called prostatic urethra. Middle, membranous urethra. And at the lower, penile urethra. Here it is the penile urethra. So these are the three different parts of the urethra. Upper prostatic urethra due to the presence of the prostate gland, middle membranous urethra and lower penile urethra. These are the three different parts of the urethra. So here it is the common passage of the urine and the semen. Both the urine and semen are released through this path. So this is the common pathway for urine and semen, and this is also called urinogenital tract. Now come to the next structure, that is external genitalia. The external genitalia is the male copulatory organ, that is the penis. Here it is the male copulatory organ. Okay. The penis is the male copulatory organ which is able to inserted into the vagina of the female. It is a copulatory organ, helps during the sexual reproduction. It is used to inserted into the female genital tract through the vagina. And this penile structure having different parts at its different area. So when we are talking about this penis, it is a long muscular structure through which the urinary tract making their path, and it is a erectile organ. That means this organ has particular erectile tissue within itself for to make it erect. So this penile structure or the copulatory organ is an erectile organ. The penis is consisting of three erectile tissue. If we are taking the transverse section of the penis, if we are taking the transverse section of the penis, we get the peritoneal covering over here, two paired erectile tissue is there, are called highly vascular tissue are there, called these two erectile tissue are called corpora cavernosa, and a single middle tissue is called corpus spongiosum. So, if we are taking the transverse section of penis, the outermost covering is called the peritoneum or the peritoneal membrane. Inside it, the fibrous connective tissue found over here, and this within this fibrous connective tissue, the three erectile tissue are found. Three erectile tissue, a pair of erectile tissue present at the anterior part is called corpora cavernosa, and a single corpus spongiosum is found. These are also provided with the vascularized region Blood vessels are found over here. So, this is the transverse section of male reproductive part. When this copulatory organ acts as your short note, you have to draw the neat diagram, the clean and neat diagram of this copulatory organ, or that is the penis, which arises from the abdominal cavity. If we are taking the side view of this male reproductive system, the penis, the structure looks like this. Here it is the scrotal sac which carry the testis inside over here. It is the scrotum, the epididymis and the sperm ducts. Here it is the urinary bladder, ureter. So, here it is the total view of the male copulatory organ. This male copulatory organ having a muscular structure, erectile tissue, it is a muscular structure having the erectile tissue consisting of these three erectile tissue, corpora cavernosa and corpus, 2 corpora cavernosa and 1 corpus spongiosum. At the tip of the penis, here it is surrounded by outer peritoneal covering. Here the peritoneal covering is found over here, and it is about 10 to 15 centimeter in length. It consisting of 3 muscular erectile tissue, corpora cavernosa and corpus spongiosum. This erectile tissue make them erect during the sexual reproduction or during the sexual act of the male reproduction. Now, at the tip of the penis, it becomes slightly enlarged, and this enlarged part is called glans penis. And this enlarged part is highly sensitive in nature. It is highly sensitive. This tip of the penis is covered by a retractable fold of the skin over here. That skin is used to cover the glans penis most of the time. But during the time of sexual activity, it comes in backward direction. this retractable fold of the skin which is used to cover the glans penis is called prepuce. The fold of the skin which is used to cover the glans penis is called prepuce. And this prepuce or the skin having certain types of glands over there which are called preputeal glands. They are used to produce certain types of secretion which collectively called smegma. During the course of the sexual reproduction, in case of male, during the sexual activity, the prepuce having the preputeal gland releases certain fluid which are foul smell, which are providing the foul like smell, are called the smegma. During the sexual reproduction, the prepuce get backward in direction while it entering into the vagina of the female, and it ready to release the semen into the female genital tract. During the course of the erection, the penis get erected by the heavy flow of blood inside into the vessel and the erectile tissue, and it becomes erect. So, this is all about the penis. So, we have discussed what are the different types of secondary sex organ over here, the primary sex organ, TS and LS of testis, different external structure, that is the scrotum, external genitalia, that is the penis. Here it is the peritoneum, and different types of ducts, that is vasa efferentia, vas deferens, epididymis, ejaculatory duct, all this. Now come to the different types of glands found in male reproductive system. What are the different types of glands? There are three different types of glands are found in the male reproductive system. Number one, that is seminal vesicle. Number two, prostate gland. Number three, that is Cowper's gland, or that is called bulbourethral gland. All these glands secretion are ready to release through this reproductive tract. So, these three glands are also called male accessory sex glands. All these three glands are also called male accessory sex gland. If we are talking about the first, that is seminal vesicle, it constitutes about 60 to 70% of the total composition of the semen. The seminal fluid or the seminal vesicle produce 60 to 70% of the total composition of the semen. Semen, as we have already discussed, that semen consisting of secretion of 3 glands plus sperm from the testis. So, the total semen, the total concentration of the semen carrying the secretion of all these 3 glands, the total 60 to 70% of the composition of the semen is carried out from the seminal vesicle. So, a pair of seminal vesicle present at in between the urinary bladder and the rectum, as we have draw the diagram. Here it is the urinary bladder and the penis. Here it is the scrotal sac, testis, the vas, vas deferens. Here are the 2 seminal vesicles, and the seminal vesicles releases their secretion to the ejaculatory duct. It is a paired structure, that is seminal vesicle, ejaculatory duct. It secretes an yellowish viscous fluid containing fructose, which gives energy, secrete prostaglandin for the contraction of the uterus. The secretion of this seminal vesicle contains fructose as well as the prostaglandin. The fructose provide energy to the sperm, and the prostaglandin is used to produce contraction in the uterine tissue of the female during the entry of the sperm into it. So, fructose provide energy, it gives energy to the sperm during the pathway of the sperm to the oviduct from the vaginal part, and prostaglandin is the particular chemical which produce contraction during the passage or during the release of the semen into the female genital tract. So, when we are talking about this Cowper's gland, it is also a paired structure. It is found at the membranous structure of the penile urethra, or it is found in the membranous structure of the urethra, which gives a lubricating agent. During the sexual act, or while the penis entering into the vagina of the female, it get lubricated with the help of the secretion released from the Cowper's gland. It is also called bulbourethral gland. It secretes a mucus fluid. It contains a mucus fluid which act as the lubricant, and this mucus fluid neutralizes the acidity of the urethra. It neutralizes the acidity of the urethra. Now come to the prostate gland, where it is found that prostate gland is a single gland present at the posterior part of the urinary bladder and at the anterior part of the urethra. It is a single structure which produce its secretion into the urethra through the semen. This prostate gland is comprises of 30% of the total semen. As we have already discussed that semen consisting of or comprising of the secretion of the 3 glands, that is seminal vesicle, prostate and Cowper's gland. Seminal vesicles constitute about 60 to 70% of the total secretion. Then the prostate gland produce 30% of the total secretion. There are about only 9 to 10% of total secretion are carried out from the Cowper's gland. So this prostate gland secretes an alkaline fluid which contains citric acid, or we can say it at vitamin C. It secretes citric acid in its secretion, protein fibrinolysin, some proteins, that is fibrinolysin, it is an enzyme, and another coagulating protein is there. So the prostate gland secrete the alkaline fluid which consisting of the citric acid, calcium ion, some proteins like fibrinolysin and the coagulating protein. Vitamin C is essential thing during the passage of the semen. Due to the presence of the coagulating protein, when the semen enters into the vaginal tract, they get coagulated fast. That means when the semen are inserted into the female genital tract or the vaginal tract, they are not get so much fluid in their structure, they are first get coagulate there. And with the help of this fibrinolysin enzyme, the coagulation is degraded and the sperm releases out from the coagulating structure. They are move faster from after the degradation of the binding of the coagulating protein. So coagulating protein and the fibrinolysin both are released by this prostate gland, which is comprises of about 30% of the total secretion. This fibrinolysin causes the coagulating protein into the liquid form. So all these three glands are used to help the male reproductive system during the male reproduction. So in this talk we have discussed about the male reproductive system consisting of male reproductive structures, the primary sex organ, secondary sex organ, the pair of testes, LS of testes, TS of testes, and what are the different accessory sex ducts, accessory sex glands, external genitalia and the external structure, that is the scrotum. All these comprises of the male reproductive system, and which will be asked you as the long question. That is the male reproductive system. You have to write down what are the different organs, male sex organs, as well as the male sex hormones, glands, ducts found over here. So this is all about the male reproductive system.